I'm going to call the Honourable Ruth Dyson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think that was an exceptionally wise choice, and I look forward to hearing my colleague Stuart Nash's contribution on the conclusion. I'm speaking to clauses 1 and 2 of the Environmental Reporting Bill. Clause 1 is just the title of the bill, and clause 2 is the commencement. I want to pick up on the points or the proposal that Dr Megan Woods made in her contribution, and that is to replace the name of this bill, the Environmental Reporting Bill, with an alternative. And in my view, the Lost Opportunity Environmental Reporting Bill would be appropriate. And I say that, Mr Chairman, for 3 reasons. The lost opportunity in this bill actually saddens me because it's a bill I would have been very enthusiastic about reporting. The first lost opportunity is the one that has been the predominant conversation in regard to Clause 18, and that is the lost opportunity for independent environmental reporting. That key element in the division in this Parliament about the nature and progress of this bill should be reflected in the title of the bill. I know that independence in reporting of a government's achievement and of the country's achievements is a risk. And I note that the Minister, the current Minister in charge of this bill, recently used that exact term, a risk, in relation to democracy in Canterbury when he talked about the possibility of his twice broken promised commitment to the people of Canterbury to restore democracy. He said, this is Honourable Nick Smith said, I won't restore democracy in Canterbury because it's too much of a risk. And actually, the risk in independent environmental reporting is accepted, but I think it's a risk that a government that is courageous and wants to demonstrate leadership should take, and this government didn't take that risk, didn't take the opportunity, and therefore the phrase of lost opportunity should be properly reflected in the title of this bill. The second lost opportunity is not as significant in terms of integrity, but I think it's a lost opportunity in terms of a message that this Parliament could have sent. If the whole of our Parliament had agreed and supported the Environmental Reporting Bill because it had independent topics set, then we could have sent a very clear message to New Zealanders about the value that we held in terms of our environment and the standards that we wanted to see progressed. Instead, we've got a divided Parliament, and unfortunately very closely divided Parliament on this bill, and again, therefore, it's a second lost opportunity that I think should be reflected in the title. And the third lost opportunity that I again think should be reflected in the title is the opportunity that was provided to this House by the supplementary order paper from my colleague Sua Williams-Seo, and that is in terms of our recognition of the impact that New Zealand's activities have on our broader neighbours in the Pacific, and our interest in supporting our neighbours in the Pacific by saying we're going to not only recognise environmental progress in New Zealand, but environmental progress and the impact that has on our Pacific neighbours. Many of our Pacific neighbours look to New Zealand and to Australia, and hopefully New Zealand ahead of Australia, in terms of the support that we can give them, particularly against the impact of climate change. I know that the recently highly regarded scientist Paul Foster-Bell, a List MP from the capital, sees himself in a different aspect in review to his scientific capabilities, goes against the entire scientific community. He said that our contribution in climate change, economic and social and financial, was negligible in the Pacific. That's what he said, negligible. I think that we have lost an opportunity to provide leadership in this space, and that's why I think lost opportunity should be reflected in the title of this bill. Mr. Chairman, in terms of the commencement date, the current bill says this Act comes into force on the earlier of the following date appointed by the Governor-General by order in Council, and then it goes on to say, and one or more orders may be made bringing different provisions into force on different dates. And that really hides what is one of the key elements of this legislation, in that the ministers can bring in by order in Council the actual topics that are going to be determined under this bill. So Mr Chairman.
I call, as a point of order, Joe Hayes.
Thank you, Mr Chair. I seek leave to correct the votes on behalf of the Māori Party for SOP 87, all clauses, and SOP 92, 2 votes in favour for each.
Leave is sought to correct the votes, and this is, so what will be those votes, please?
Votes for SOP 87, all clauses, 2 votes in
Hang
favour.
on, just one moment. I'll ask the clerk to write this down. No, I need to read out the amended vote. All right, so the leave is sought to correct the Maori vote on all votes that were taken on part 2. Is that correct? So leave is.
It's just the SOPs.
Well, there's a number of SOPs.
Yes.
There's number 92 and there's number 87.
Yes.
And an 11A as well.
No, just 87 and 92.
87 and 92. Right, leave is sought for that purpose. Is there any objection? There is no objection. Therefore, the votes on those amendments is set out on SOP number 87 and 92 will be the ayes are 60 and the noes are 61, so the amendments were still lost. Right. Now, is someone seeking the call? Calling Stuart Nash.
Thank you very much, Mr Chair. I